People, Deluded, I'm back again. Thank you very much for tuning in. Now again, we're back here for some deluded thoughts, and this is just a segment of my thoughts in general. Sometimes it touches on life, sometimes it touches on my journey, and you know, a lot of you can relate to a lot of things, and you know, I'm just an honest man trying to first and foremost better my life, better my family's life, be better than I was yesterday. Like, I'm only in competition with myself. Really what drives me on is just the fear of, you know, being average to myself, because I feel I am average at everything, so I need to feel of what I'm great at, sort of thing. And because I don't feel that, can't speak for everyone, but I feel if I don't get my goals, then, you know, life's not worth living, sort of thing. Not that I'm gonna off myself or anything, but I just feel it's this or die trying, like I ain't got no other option, sort of thing. But I was on a Zoom chat with my friends, and we were talking about our careers, reviewing our careers, talking about, you know, not specifics, but finances, career progression, you know, family business, all of these sort of things, and just overall development. Because a lot of my friends, the one common theme is we're all trying to be better than we was. We're all trying to do something. It doesn't matter if you're a YouTuber, accountant, on the roads, you know, everyone's, I shouldn't have said that one, but everyone's trying to better themselves, innit? And it got me thinking, like, we were speaking about, like, when did you first not find your calling, but when did you think there's something in this? And then the question came to me, and I kind of had to take 5 minutes to answer it. I could probably describe it in a couple of ways. I'd say what first kept me, I wouldn't say I've needed encouragement, because I knew I was going to keep going in it. Like, I knew starting this YouTube stuff and stuff away from my life, you need to be motivated yourself. You need to have consistency in yourself, because, you know, there's going to be tough times. So you really have to have a passion for it. I know I've had the passion for it, sort of thing. I know I've always had the passion for it, but so yeah, there's that part. But it's like, when I first started, I thought, obviously I've told you lot before, when you start, my mentality around YouTube was completely different, because the landscape was it now. I won't say it's everyone's got a YouTube channel and it's cool now, but definitely in my community, and definitely not necessarily my community, that's not the right word, but in my sort of reality, it was unheard of. Or if you was doing it, you was on a funny boy thing, because you was only seeing, like, comedians, you know, people going up to people asking mad questions about their sex life and things like that, throwing stuff, you know, just parody stuff, and nobody wanted to be a joke man like that. It's sad, because these people you call joke men now had a head start on everyone and have, you know, established themselves. But I would say when I started, I was shocked by the man them taking it in, because they didn't diss it. I thought everyone would have been laughing and stuff. Not that I care about the laugh, but it's, you know, that's a bit discouraging. So everyone's like, nah, you know, you got something in it. And people that, like, I haven't spoken to in years, people that I've fallen out with, were reaching out directly or indirectly. So I was like, rah, like, you know, there might be something here. And I was a bit inconsistent. Like, if you go back to my early vids, I think I was very inconsistent. Like, I made one in relation, the first one with Wilshire and Gnabry related. I think I came back with another review around the PSG date, and then I did Monaco versus Spurs, because I went to watch Thomas Lemar and Bernardo Silva. And then, you know, there were some inconsistencies, but I then started to take it seriously. Fast forward a significant amount of time now to, you know, establishing stuff, getting a couple thousand subscribers and whatnot. It was really through, like, just being noticed on the train, at work, in the restaurants, you know, people, like, even on 4th Street, like, where I'm from, like, North London, like, it's honest people just noticing me and stuff. Even when, like, I'm doing the AFTV interviews, like, obviously Troops and them, and they are superstars, and I don't care much for that superstar business, but people are tapping me. Donnie's from Holland saying they've watched my stuff and whatnot, so I was like, rah, like, there's something in this sort of thing. And to be honest, I've lost count of the amount of times. Like, even the other day I was in Sainsbury's. Shout out to that brother who said, well, going in Sainsbury's as well. So everywhere really, like, I can't even go to Tesco's no more now. On a serious note, everywhere and anywhere it's happened, innit? The barbers, everywhere. Sometimes it is a bit nerving, because it took me a while to mentally prepare, because sometimes it's like, aye, someone be like, number one, someone's like, aye, I've turned around now, and I'm thinking, yo, like, what's this eye business? Like, you know, because normally that's, you know, you're preparing for something. He's like, nah, watch your vids, blah, blah, blah. Don't know. This guy was tall as well, butch, you know, ready. Like, he's probably on a snuff man in, but I'll give my lefts and rights as good as I can. I thought it was, you know, people going to try to put man on Wellstar or something, but he showed love. And my point is, like, a lot of love. And for me, you know, it means a lot. Like, I love when I get love from people that look like me and are from a reality like me as well, because it means I'm doing something right. But it shocked me, man. I'm seeing people from Wales come up to me and say, well, go on. Like, it's mad, people. The amount, young and old, man, woman, you know, whatever, in it. it was crazy. But I'd say when I really sunk in, it was Carnival. Ironic, you know me, I love Carnival, but that's when it sunk in, because obviously Carnival, there's a whole heap of people there. Literally, I'm with my guys, and you know, we roll out heavy in it. Like, you know, I love Carnival. You can catch me with the Ray and Neff and the sunglass, the Ray bands and the Jamaica thing all out there, and sometimes the paint shot to my Grenadian people, them that I chill with, all them things there. So I love Carney, and you know, a couple other, you know, I might be enjoying a couple other things that we can't bait up on these things, you know, cheeky cigarettes and stuff, you know, I ain't talking about cigs, but yeah, so I'm there now, and it's like, the amount of times I'm being stopped at Carney, taking pictures, you know, it's mad. Like, some guy was like, he came from Jamaica for the Carnival, he's like, I didn't think I'd see you. I was thinking, what do you mean, Jenna? Like, why wouldn't I be at Carnival? But it's like, that's when I really thought, nah, man. Because we're like, it's literally 20, maybe 30 people, ridiculous amount of people said, well, I can't ask for pictures and things like that as well, which was quite mad. That's when I really thought, let me do this thing, innit? Let me try it like I'm still doing now. Let me try a thing. Like, let me do a thing. And you know, even when I'm going through, I think I'm quite strong mentally, but I'm human, innit? At times I can't be bothered to make vids. I can't be bothered to reply. I think woe is me to a degree at times. And I think back to these things. I think back to them, you know, when I've been stopped by people and they've bigged up my stuff, or even the YouTube comments, man. Like, some of you lot think I'm really not being cliche. Some of you lot move me with some of the things you say, people. It's like, even if I can't put it into words. People are saying, you know, oh, some guy was out, I'm going through, God forbid, sorry to say this, but it's like, oh, I was going through cancer and the chemo, your videos kept me going. Comments along that when people are going through illness, people saying they're depressed, people saying they just look forward to the fucking videos, people. That's like, knowing that one person, like, in this earth, or two people, like, literally cannot wait until they hear the notification bell and see my YouTube thing or whatever. That's where I think, raw, like, I gotta keep going, because even if I don't get anywhere, like, I'm bringing some sort of value or some sort of joy to someone, sort of thing. And that's really how you've got to look at it, man. And I mean, if for nothing more, if it stays like that, at least I know I've been a real one, and there's people that feel my craft. And I'd say for everybody, like, it's not always gonna be like that. Obviously, I haven't got to no level. I don't think I'm better than anyone, but I mean, 20,000 subscribers compared to 50. 50 is just the number I remember when I first started. That's quite a rise, isn't it? There's obviously, through hard work and stuff, obviously people can see your tenacious, see your consistency, and gravitate towards the movement naturally. But, you know, if any content creators or anyone doing anything, if you give up for yourself, think of other people, man. Think of people that are doing it for you. If that doesn't help, what normally fuels me, and I can't speak for you, is the people that told me I can't do something. It's because, like, it's when they tell you, like, I'm hard of hearing it. If you tell me I can't do something, I want to do it, innit? Like, you know, my mum's probably beat me black and blue growing up for ramping. And is it in this ear? Is it this ear or this ear? I can't remember what ear I got it in, but I got the harder earring thing here. My Caribbean people know what I'm on about. But it's like, you gotta keep going, and you know, you've got to do it for yourself first and foremost. Because if I think of all the nasty comments, all the times I thought it was done, and I became drowned in that, I wouldn't have got anywhere. So I'd say first and foremost, you got to do it for yourself. You have to shut up that voice, that any sort of doubt in your head. Like, for me, I think a lot more positive. That doesn't mean living in la la land. That doesn't mean recognizing realities of certain things, but that's choosing to think positive. Because what I've realized, like, especially when I started YouTube, because, you know, I'm doing, you know, how do I make this make sense without getting in trouble? You know, when I started YouTube, I actually lost my job, people, and for a while, you know, I told you lot before, I was doing a couple other things for and whatnot, and this was all I sort of had, and I had to kind of, you know, just keep going, because I didn't think there was anything else, and this something came of it, really and truly. So I'd say for everybody should just keep going, man. Like, and if you know, if you believe in someone's content, I'm not saying I want everyone to tell me, you know, how much you love me and stuff, but if you've got a close friend or someone or family, take an interest in what they're doing, or just tell them they're doing well, because you don't know what that means for people. You really don't. I don't know. When I say some people I support, I don't know what that means to them. Same way people don't know it's to me. You don't know what you could do. Encourage people, even if you don't. I'm not even talking with this football stuff. Like, I always give the example of someone I know that's dad encouraged them to be a pilot, and it all started because, you know, his dad first toy, he says, for obviously when his first toy, but first toy was a plane, innit? And then that's where his passion for planes came. Obviously, as he got a tiny bit older, he used to bug his dad to go, is it Heathrow or Gatwick, whichever one you can kind of go and watch the planes take off and come back. He used to go do that with his dad, and now he's a pilot. So you never know what you could happen with a bit of encouragement. Because I think the saddest thing in life is knowing people got dreams, people got ambitions, people want to try things. They're either scared of saying, of not being able to get there. They're scared of people dissing them and not feeling them. And what's more depressing is you psych. I've done it. You psych yourself out before you even get anywhere with anything. Like, I wish I started this in school. And mentally, I would have been different, and maybe it wouldn't have banged. Everything happens for a reason. But I wish I was doing this, where, you know, rather than selling Kit Kats and, you know, selling a couple other things and, you know, beef and all this bullshit. I wish I was doing something like this. And, you know, if I could, you know, if I had a child, I would, you know, I would be pushing them to do coding. Any sort of thing, I'll be pushing them. You know, they're going to be playing football, but there's that as well. So you never know. And I think, in fact, I lied. The most sad thing is people are scared to fail. Like, I think one thing that's helped me is I've failed many times. Failed at many things. Like, it took me 2 times to pass my driving test. Yeah, that's a funny story as well. But that's for another day. It took me 2 times to do that. What else have I failed at? Failing every day with this YouTube stuff. You know, I failed bare, man. Like, I've been fired from roles, rightly and wrongly at times. You know, I failed bare stuff, bare projects I've tried to fail, and I think people are scared to fail. If you fail, so what, man? Don't listen to people who mock you. Cause half these guys and women that mock the thing, they're not brave enough to try their own thing. So it's easier to laugh because why? Because they're insecure. They're insecure to try their own thing. So it's better to laugh. And if you fail, so what? You tried the thing, it didn't bang, you move on. Or you review what went right and wrong. I fail all the time with YouTube. I've been failing all the time with YouTube and things like that. So that's all I wanted to say, people, man. It's kind of sad, really, but you just got to keep going, man. And like I said, without the love I get in the YouTube comments is amazing as well. So that's not, for me, that's on the same level. But when it started physically manifesting, like, people are seeing me saying what I'm stopping and speaking about Arsenal, people like, bro, I was at Bond Street Station. Like, this is the maddest thing. Like, I've told you, like, I was a production assistant in my last role, innit. Obviously you're essentially the dog's body, innit. We've all got to go somewhere. So I've been sent out. These times the office is like around Oxford Circus, innit, more so Soho, but I've been sent to, can't remember what I was doing, but asked to go deliver something somewhere near Bond Street, innit, like one hotel thing. So I've gone there now, and I've walked there, innit. I'm not gonna lie, I walked to waste time, innit. It's like 4 o'clock, you know, we finish at 6. You know, the train thing will take me 5 minutes, but if I walk, it's 25, probably there and back, you know. Cheeky little stop at Foot Locker and them things and come back. But I've made the journey now, done what I've had to do work-wise. I've walking back now, and I've said to myself, you know what, it's a long walk in. Anyone who's walked up all them Oxford Circus things, you know it's long in it. So I've said, let me jump on the train. Jumping on the train now, this guy comes up to me, he's like, oh, is that Deluded? It's like, yeah, what, go on, talking about Arsenal. And I'm sad. When you lot stop me, I'm sad, but I'll never let you lot go away. I don't know how to end the conversation. Like, we're talking about Arsenal for time. So we're chatting about Arsenal, chatting about everything in relation to Arsenal. Players, management, history, how he did it. When the guy who stopped me moved to the country, all of these sort of things. While that's happening, people, another person stopped me and said, oh, DG, I've got to take a picture of you, or my kids ain't going to believe it, sort of thing. And I'm like, picture of me? Like, man's got 20,000 subscribers. I'm just chatting shit about football in my bedroom, really. Like, alright, cool. Like, and it shocked me. Like, they only really hit me when I go on the train, people. And I'm like, rah. Or when I'm got after the incidents, and I'm like, rah. This was a madness. And tell a lie as well, Carnival's one thing, but the first ever person to notice me physically, and people can call it this was in, when was it? It was New Year's, coming back from New Year's. You know the trains is 24 hours, people. So I've told you like this before, I'm going down the escalators, a Don's going up it, and he's going, Deluded, Gooner. Like, I was like, right, like, obviously he was drunk off his head. I was a bit pissed as well, but still, I was like, right, like, you know what, how did he come across the YouTube stuff? And that's one thing as well, I'm a bit, like, because of that, I'm always intrigued. Like, I always go, when you look, anyone that's physically stopped me, and there's a good about 50 of you lot now, maybe more, that you can vouch for this. I always ask you like weird questions, like, oh, if you can, when did you first find out about me? Was it in the YouTube suggestion tab? Was it through AFTV and being on their shows and them sort of things there? You know, was it a friend that put you on? And the responses are always different, people. And I'd say another thing is, I had to earn you lot's credibility. Like I said, I knew football. I knew I had a passion for football. I knew that I knew very little about football, and I want to improve and all of these things. But I had to earn the credibility, because what separates me, I know I knew all of this, the man them did, but you lot eventually had to listen to me and hear 2-3 seconds of what I had to say, and then, you know, draw your own conclusions. Or, you know, you might have thought I was chatting crap at first, come back. You know, the marketplace is weird. I had to earn that credibility, and I still feel that. And I think footballers, agents, scouts, these are still starting to take attention, starting to listen to my take, starting to take a man in. And that's actually the first reason I started this, because you lot know me, I wanted to be a coach, scout, do all this thing in academy level. And I know the game's a stitch up, and I thought to myself, like, I know football, I know, like, this is all I've ever wanted to do, this is all I've ever lived for, you know, in school, everywhere, this is all I was, football, Kit Kats, fighting, this was it, really, and just mouthing off the teachers, this was it, sort of thing. Well, Scotland OG, sorry people. So I knew that was it, but at the same time, I had to prove to you lot that I knew what going on. And I started this YouTube channel because of that. It's like, I know this, but when I'm going to scouts and agents and I'm talking with them and I'm just trying, not even asking them for a position, just trying to be a mentor, just trying to make a way in, that, sorry people, they're either not taking me in, they're not understanding what I'm saying, or what separates me from them. Because on paper, this is the fucked thing about football. There's so many people that no ball could probably find the next Jadon Sancho and the next Lewandowski and all these players. But on paper, there's nothing that tells you that, Carl. You ain't got, you know, you ain't been at this club, that club, you ain't this, that, and that. So I thought, what separates me? If I start a little YouTube thing, doing what I talk about the man them already, you know, maybe when I do, because that was the plan, you know, couple hundred subscribers, when I reach out to someone, plug the YouTube stuff so that they can see, no, alright, cool, not that he just knows football, you know, I can see for myself, sort of thing. And, you know, we've just ran with it, really, because this was the least of my intentions. When you lot say you could be on Sky, BT, I do believe it, but I don't necessarily believe I'm going to achieve it, because I don't think I'm the face they want. I don't think it matches up, but I do think there's something in life for me. I do think there's an avenue for me. It's just down for me to find that, not just in this, but my personal life. And I think you've all got to do the same, really. And life is for living, man. Like, I don't feel alive most of the time. I want to feel alive. Like, I want to, you know, wake up with it. And we all want it. We all want to be financially free. We all want to wake up with the same passion on Monday morning as Friday morning. We all want that. But I really need that. Like, I can't do things half-heartedly. Like, I'm 0% or 100%. And that's probably why I've struggled in a lot of things, really. But I've been here for a time, people. I'm not going to waste any more of such time, so I'm going to get out of here. It's always a pleasure speaking with you lot, as you know, but all good things have to come to an end eventually. Deluded, I'm out.